am Red Cyclone! Yeah!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back up your hard drives. It's another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host. I am not Merc with the mic. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Merc with the mic.
I am Merc with the mic, and I'm
Good.
Yes. Yeah. So the PlayStation has a battery died situation thing going.
We got a bunch of situations going on with the PlayStation family. Two of them very, very bad. So we'll start out with that news. The first thing they announced, apparently somebody found a statement from Sony saying that they will be ending the online services for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita, and by proxy also the PSP. So if you have a PSP Go, it will be useless.
Damn.
Also, what that means is pretty much anything you want to buy from the PlayStation Store regarding those consoles, you have to do it now. But even if you do, you have to realize that if anything should go wrong, you will not be able to get them back.
That's crazy.
So it's either you're gonna lose out on having those things in forever, because again, the cell structure of that system doomed a lot of stuff to be stuck on that system. It would probably before we started, Merc and I were talking about the solution would be PlayStation Now, which I believe is like a streaming based service, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we see now that's the future, right? The future. I don't know if Bishop was fighting the Sony servers in the future. Maybe he was. Maybe they become the Sentinels. I hope not. But that's probably the best way to save those games that are stuck on the cell structure from the PS3.
Yeah.
Anything that's on Vita could be on anything. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Anything that's on PSP, there is no excuse. You could just put that up on the PlayStation Store right now.
Yeah.
So that's the major thing is that means Metal Gear Solid 4. That's a big one. And there's a few other exclusives on that system. I'm assuming if it hasn't already been packaged in a collection via like something where Ratchet and Clank, did they have something post PS3?
So they had a collection game for PS3, I think, and that was it. Which had the Going Commando, the first one and the third one. I would like to see some, like, I kind of wanted to go through them again, but again, the only thing they have that's available on the PS5 or PS4 wise is the remastered of Ratchet and Clank, but there's no sequels. So the Going Commando, I think, was their best game, and that one's not available to play, and it's like, damn. So that means I can't even play the disc on the PS5 because it won't work.
So, okay, that's first party. What about Uncharted? Did Uncharted get a re-release of its PS3 games?
Yes, they did, but they did it on PS4.
So that's that's one that survived.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack and Daxter, still no word on a collection for that yet.
But they
Zero.
did have a collection on PS3 that's playable on PS4.
Okay.
But there was no like graphic update or anything like that. So it looks.
That's
dated.
what I mean. Like,
it looks dated.
okay, so it survived, but it's not updated. Okay.
Nah.
And that's another one that's like that's synonymous with the PlayStation brands. I'm trying to think. Is anybody else stuck that was big, that was exclusive? Because I at that time, remember, Final Fantasy was not exclusive.
Yeah.
So there's no Final Fantasy. So I guess it's probably not as much as you would think is stuck to being exclusive.
Yeah.
So it softens the blow. But I know there are PS3 games that are only on PS3. So that sucks. From a collector's perspective, like it
that's
sucks from
incredible.
an owner of just games in general, because even if you are still bought into the PlayStation family,
Yeah.
right? There is no way to repurchase those things that you bought. I mean, I can't say that people can start suing them and stuff, because obviously there's things that you don't read in the EULA that tells you don't worry about it. And then when this happens, it's like, hey, listen, we told you don't worry about it. So that's the other thing, is there's nothing illegal here.
Yeah.
But the one thing that can't be surprising is they never told you, oh yeah, when we make the next system, all this is gonna be there. They did not. They never said that. So it's like you gotta swallow that pill. The only thing that I think to buy them more goodwill, because remember, at the end of the day, it's still a competition.
Yeah.
Partially because they continue to make it so. Because had they want to not be in such competition, they could have just not made a console and said, you know what, we should just put our games on whatever, and play them on whatever. You could do that. Nobody wants to, because you make money on hardware. Obviously, it's a business. But it's also a race. And if you want to quote unquote win the race, like, why don't you put stuff on PlayStation now, man? Just do it. Like Game Pass has stuff that goes back years, right? Or is it that it does, right?
Yeah, you could get the whole Halo series on Game Pass. You have the whole Gears of War series on Game Pass. Fable 1, 2, and 3 on Game Pass. All the Forzas on Game Pass. All the Forza Horizons on Game Pass. So you have a big chunk of their history, especially their Xbox One stuff. Like, it's on there, like Jade Empire's on there and things like that. So Game Pass is a better deal in that sense, because it is better to have it, because it makes it more of a better choice, especially when it comes to Xbox. But I feel PlayStation needs something similar to that, especially with their old catalog of games. They have a really good catalog of games that people are going to be missing out, because you cannot find them anywhere on the digital stores that will be played on PS4 or PS5. Honestly, the PlayStation Now, I think it'd be the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'd hope they could find a way to make things that are lost. I don't know if like Metal Gear Solid 4 is on there, but I think that's one that should be there.
Yeah,
it probably. I say that, and it probably is, but because it's a game you make an exception for.
Yeah,
but a lot of the other stuff that isn't, and especially the Vita stuff, there's no excuse for that. Just put it up there, man. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm sure there were a few Vita games that were exclusive that were just different.
Yeah, Uncharted.
Oh, it has its own unique chapters and everything. Okay, cool.
Uncharted was a brand new game on the Vita. Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody owns that, they want that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that'd be cool. That's also another thing, is I get that you want to sell that. I get it, because if you missed out on the Vita, the reason to have it on the store is to make money.
Yeah.
You know, to sell it to somebody else who didn't get a Vita, and bam, here you can play this game that maybe you didn't play because you didn't have faith in the handheld. But look, it's on PlayStation Now. Play.
Yeah, yeah, agree. Like they need something. They need something in that category, especially because the Xbox is doing really good with the Game Pass, and I think Game Pass, surprisingly, is doing better than most people thought it would be. Is the fact that, like, if you have a good Android that has Game Pass, you can still play Xbox games on there and shit like that. They've made it more accessible, so it made it easier to get too. So basically, PlayStation needs to catch up with that, or do something very similar to that. So you can have those back catalogs, maybe get. And the thing is, with Xbox, they all have that HD redefined everything when it comes to the Xbox Series X. So each game got upgraded to look better on the Xbox One X.
Wow, that's a hell of a marketing deal right there. I'm just saying, you like, which guys do you think you want to side with? Yeah, those guys. So that I don't know. Sony's gonna need to look at that, because people, as much as they're the person who's, I don't know, the mouthpiece, that I don't know if he's the head of the company or what have you.
Yeah.
The person who's out there like in interviews talking about nobody cares about the old stuff because of the numbers of sales.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's not, I don't think that's a good enough reason to not think forward about your back catalog and be like, well, listen, sure, we're not gonna just put it in at launch. That's not gonna be a focus. I get you, but because of like the advances between PlayStation 3 and 4, where everything mostly went to being available on the digital platform day one and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just in the end, it basically just comes down to, this is our network of where you can buy stuff. Why wouldn't you just have more options?
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't understand. It's like, at that point, you could do it down the line.
Yeah.
And the fact that they still haven't done it for like a majority of that stuff is like weird. That's my thing. It's like that, you don't have to try to make it work natively on the hardware, right? I'm sure by now there are smarter people who can put it on a network and have it play.
Yeah.
And stream the game or what have you. So something needs to be done about that, because that is a thing that brings good faith.
Yeah, and the other thing is with Xbox Game Pass, you could download the games.
See? Boom. There you go.
They're not
Another point.
like, you don't have to stream it. You could download it and they play a lot better instead of streaming it. And if you have a bad connection, you get disconnected all at the same time.
Gotcha.
So Sony needs something similar to what they could do with Xbox Game Pass, because it may not be winning now, but it's getting its traction, and it's that Bethesda buyout was a big thing for that Xbox community, and the fact that they're most likely the big titles are not coming to PlayStation.
I mean, just to know that they have the next version of Elder Scrolls, and it's gonna be basically made for that architecture and whatnot, and knowing Microsoft, that they're going to push to have so many different relevant things in it, and it'll be like, it plays best here.
Yeah.
On the Xbox family of systems or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So just knowing that's a big get anyway. That's like if Sony had got Square Enix like they used to be tight back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's not like that no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like getting that third party acquired is just like, damn, that's a big deal. So you were right.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
But then just to make it worse, there's another issue that's kind of plaguing, I think, systems in general as they get older.
Yeah.
It's hey, y'all gotta change the batteries in your systems, y'all, because after 10 years they die. So PS3 is gonna have this issue where there's an internal battery for the clock.
Yeah.
That if it dies and you don't change it and it can't reach the server, you can't play your games.
Yeah.
Just that's it. And PlayStation 4, supposedly it's worse, that it affects physical as well, because there is some type of check there, meaning your physical games will not work when you put the system in if your battery dies and your system cannot reach that server. So that sucks.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It really sucks because the PS5 is still scarce. So it's not like it's in a place in a period where like, it's all good. I was gonna buy a 5 anyway. I'll go to the store tomorrow and pick it up. Nah, you gotta sit there online try to get lucky, homie.
Yeah, they are showing up, but still, you still have to be extremely lucky for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like again, it and the fact that it's built in the system kind of just like weirds me out. It's like, that's what
well, you expect.
Yeah,
what that is they. I assume it's like you can't exactly put something in there that has a forever lifespan, because probably that doesn't exist, right? Yeah. It's probably a power source that doesn't exist, but I would expect it not to be designed that way. You know what I mean? Where like there's no other way that you could route the battery for a clock when you plug it in. Like, no, it still just has to run off of that thing. Like, what's up with that? Why is that still a thing?
You know, it's crazy because Apple phones do that shit.
Again, why is that still a thing? Like, why haven't we figured out? I mean, I'm sure there are. Listen, I got some inner loop batteries that I've had for maybe 15 years. Why haven't y'all figured out how to make batteries that recharge that don't just either explode or they have a like a lifespan like that? But even then, why do you not have a way for you to just plug it in and it'd be all right? I mean, it's got to be plugged in anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's not a portable system. I get that the number will reset to 00, but like, no, that's fine. Don't unplug it.
Yeah, 100%.
So
That's
I don't
crazy.
know. It's a lot of little things like that you just think about. Like, yeah, that's a thing, and that shouldn't be a thing anymore. We should be past that.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, Merc, also, people are not thinking about it now, but at some point, people are gonna be looking at the PS5 and the new Xbox, and they're gonna be looking in there and like, where's that battery? Oh, is it still a thing?
There's a big
So
chance it might be.
4 or 5 years down the line, 6, 7, 8, 9, get to that 10, that magical 10-year mark, and it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm sure the PS6 will be a thing, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be like, well, I don't care about my PlayStation 5 anymore. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get the Group 6, and it's like, well, listen. First of all, consumerism. Welcome to the loop.
Yeah.
But second of all, like, stop it.
No, it's crazy if you talk about that too. Like, you want to know, like, this funny shit is, like, I have the PS5 and all, but you want to know how many games I actually played that were PS5?
2.
Valhalla and Miles Morales. The rest of them were PS4 games.
Damn. I was gonna say Miles Morales, but I was gonna guess Like a Dragon, but I forgot that came out
Recently, and now I have to replay the fucking game because they don't
That
have
sucks.
the save transfer feature,
That sucks.
which sucks. But I'll plan a day to go through it again. But yeah, like, there were not enough games. There were not enough like things to keep me occupied with that stuff. There were actually some good free ones on PS5. Like the Astral Playroom was actually really cute and fun. I platinumed that this weekend.
Okay, cool.
It was
cool.
good. It was an easy game. Like, it was a really fun way to learn your controller.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
So, and that's what it did. It showed you all these things that you could do with the controller, and pretty much you do a lot of things with the controller. And the character looks like the controller anyway, so it makes sense. Like, it's really cute, and it was free. It's free once you get the PS5. And it was actually really well done. But yeah, the only 2 games like fully PS5 that I played was Valhalla and Miles Morales.
Shame on you.
It's crazy.
I have heard the term that it came in hot, but it basically looks like they should have waited another like 6 months. I feel.
Yeah.
I still don't think either of the consoles should have came out last year.
I think this November should have been the time.
Yeah,
This year.
I agree.
Because the world's kind of coming back together. People are starting to get their money back together. Things like that. It would have made more sense than and then also the companies would have been able to take their time. Cyberpunk, I'm talking to you.
Yes.
And a lot of that shit wouldn't have happened. But no, everyone wants to make $1. Everyone needs to the thing out fast and get the money going and all that shit. So they did it. They kept it. They kept it coming out now, and I still think that it again, November could have been a fine.
Yeah. Also, I'm seeing again. There's a story. Most of these stories are coming from GameSpot. But also the chip shortage is still a real thing, so that's not gonna help either any series, or any system, in the long run.
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
So hopefully they get the shit and things get better and easily to send them out and get them in people's hands because people want the system. I have been seeing it in stores though. Like I actually walked into Target the other day and I saw one in their little case.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably sold the same day, but they'll sort it.
Gotcha.
So they're there. They're out in the wild. You just gotta take your time and be
And yet
patient.
there's no Nintendo Switches in Harlem.
No.
So,
Oh, there's
no,
a
so there's
shitload over
only
here.
Switch. There's only Switch Lite.
Only Switch Lite. I
Only
think the
Switch
Target
Lite.
near my house has them.
Really? Oh.
If I go downstairs, I'm supposed to go there before I had to go to work. So I'll even look, because they open at 7 in the morning. They close at 10. So once they close, they ain't selling it. So
Yeah.
yeah, if they still have it, they should probably get it. But yeah, because Monster Hunter came out, so a lot of people
That's
jumping on
another
the
big
system.
news.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Monster Hunter Rise came out for the Nintendo Switch on, I believe it was Friday. So.
yeah. I saw Julio, Japstar.
Yes.
playing.
Japstar.
Yeah, I feel
Guys,
bad. I feel bad because he does have the one I have. He has the Switch Lite, and then he's playing with a controller. Like it's hard for me to play with a controller on that small screen. Like I have to play it as a handheld. If not, I won't be able to play it. Like me playing it as a separate controller, I just feel weird doing that.
I got you.
Yeah, like I suggest like the TV one for you, because honestly, you're gonna use that controller. It might be more comfortable playing on the TV with that instead of playing the handheld like that, because it just looks weird.
I just need a TV one to capture it. So
Yeah.
that's mainly the reason I don't want a light.
Yeah,
Like I would,
100%.
if that wasn't the case, I would get a light if they had like a TV out, but they don't. So
It does not. So it makes sense. But
and
yeah,
there's still more rumors about the Pro.
yeah,
Though the number one thing I heard is about something called DLSS, which is able to upscale for some resolutions,
yeah,
and that's kind of cool. So it could push it up from I think 720 to 4K.
yeah.
If that's what they want to do for the next one. But again, Nintendo ain't say a damn thing.
Yeah.
This doesn't exist in their eyes. I'm just saying. So
It got it reviewed pretty solid. Oh, IGN gave it an 8.8 out of 10. Metacritic.
I'm surprised when it comes to that.
Yeah,
So,
Metacritic right now is 87%. So that's pretty solid for this game.
I'm surprised people got used to it. You know what I mean? Usually Monster Hunters do not review well. That's why like World was the surprise, like the surprise.
Yeah.
Because like before that, they would get like 6s and 7s because people just weren't into it.
Yeah.
But then again, it was a different style of game, and
Yeah.
World kind of changed that. So I assume with them keeping most of the styles, the gameplay feel from World, and then adding on top of that, that's probably why more people were invested. So
Yeah.
that's
that
good.
makes sense.
I like that. I like seeing a multitude of different just people in different communities actually playing the game and enjoying it, instead of being like, man, this thing sucks. It's hard.
Yeah.
No good. And it's like, oh no, this is actually fun.
Yeah.
It looks cool. The music, I hear people talk about the music is good. I'm like, all right, everything I want to hear, good.
Nice. That's good. That's a good thing to hear. Like especially, just in general. Like if it usually doesn't review well and it's getting the recognition for what it is. And also, I think that game came out in the perfect timing of just during this pandemic and shit. Honestly, that game would have been. I think that game would probably. As well as gonna sell now, but imagine if it came out when the time when Animal Crossing came out.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That would have fucking killed.
That is true.
Because you had nothing else to do but hunt monsters.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so yeah, that's cool. I'm glad.
And now, I was gonna say, and now the wait is on for the PC version.
Yeah, you're waiting.
Now waiting. Yep.
Yeah, yep. But hopefully, you get your hands on a Switch so you can play it and get some footage going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. You want to start this movie?
I wanted to ask you if you heard about the Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Ooh,
That's supposed to be headed by the guy
yes.
who did John Wick.
It has a lot of movie qualities to the game itself, so I'm all for that.
Okay. I was just wondering. So,
Yeah. Maybe it won't be Monster Hunter, but it would be great.
Oh Lord. Not everything can be Monster Hunter. Thankfully.
We still gotta go watch that movie.
I know.
I went into it's free.
I mean, shouldn't it already be?
Yeah, it should.
Is it
be.
not on Tubi somewhere?
Nah, it's only rental right now.
Okay.
So soon. Hopefully they
Very
go to something. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. That's about it. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima movie, that'd be dope. I think it would be a sick movie. I love that game. I think that game was fantastic. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. If they keep the same like kind of settings and shit like that. Keanu Reeves in it because most likely he would be in it because of the director. So who knows? We got some good stuff coming. I think I'll give it a shot.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Hopefully it will look better than Quest for Peace.
I mean, doesn't everything look better than a Quest for Peace?
And going in, we are going into our verdict movie of our 2 decades of superhero comic book movies, and we are at Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's get the technical details down. It is Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, 1987.
Yep.
It is rated PG. It is an hour and a half. Action, adventure, sci-fi, and it was released on July 24th, 1987 in the United States of America.
Yep.
That's the technical know-how. Starring Christopher Reeve as Superman, Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, and the voice of Nuclear Man.
Yeah.
Jackie Cooper returns as Perry White. Mark McClure, Jimmy Olsen. John Cryer is Lenny, who is Lex Luthor's nephew. I'm trying to see, is David Warfield? Yes. So
2.5.
It's Sam Wanamaker as David Warfield, who is like the tycoon who comes in and buys the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Mark Pillow, who doesn't get enough credit. I'm sure he does. He did something after this movie. And he played Nuclear Man. He was silent for this film as his voice was dubbed over by Gene Hackman. I don't understand why. Mary Hemingway as Lacey Warfield. And returning, Margot Kidder as Lois Lane.
Yep.
So that's about it. I would just like to say that this movie fell off hard in the looks department.
Yeah, it was not. I feel 1 and 2 looked way better than this.
Yes, I agree. It feels like there was a great more care, and like they almost felt like it was like, we can't mess this up. This has to be the pinnacle of what we have at the time.
Yeah.
And I know they did not have a lot. You know, I understand that. It's 1987. The special effects, they are what they are. But I mentioned already at the time, so we had 3 movies before this, but we'll go with the first 2 as being up there in terms of quality of special effects.
Yeah.
Star Wars is a thing that existed.
Yeah.
But mind you, this is also, backed by a major, backed by money, rather.
Yeah.
So this is not some rinky-dink outfit. So again, the fall off is very hard. The flying scenes are terrible.
Yeah.
Every time Superman flies, it looks like it really looks bad. It looks like the parodies you would see later on, like in the 90s, of people making fun of Superman.
Yeah.
Just flying in front of a fake background. And it's just like, yeah, it looks that bad. I still can't really diss Nuclear Man for his look.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna go back and look at his costume and be like, man, that sucks. I'm like, oh yeah, that looks pretty okay. And the light, I think all the money went to the lighting effect around him. That was it.
His lightning fingers.
His lightning fingers and the bolts of electricity that like went around him when he was first like born.
That was a weird scene. It just
when he went from a
beep and it just grew up into a fucking.
The power of nuclear radiation turned him from a fetus to a man in a matter of minutes, and I'm just like, so that's just what we're gonna go with here?
Yeah.
Like, this movie more than the other ones is is a comic book movie. I felt
Yeah.
like this was like a live action cartoon almost.
Yeah, it was. It had that that C grade movie kind of vibe to it, especially when it came to like their fights and shit like that. It was really bad. And man, he just injected the fucking claws, his nails out. I was like, wow, he's about to fight him like a lady in a salon, like trying to scratch his. He tried to scratch his face and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, basically. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, this is what you do when you have two men that can't fight professionally.
Exactly.
They're not trained in any type of martial arts. Yeah, it does look bad.
Yeah.
And it's just like this movie is complete cheeseball. I will say it tries, but it doesn't hit like the second one for me though.
Yeah, 100%.
The one-liners don't quite hit like they did in the second one because it still has that same sense of humor.
Yeah,
you know, the quirky, the kind of laughing tongue-in-cheek at Clark.
Yeah,
I mean, it still has that humor. The new boss's daughter is like in love with Clark because he's not like a regular person. He's just a complete knight in shining armor. And they play it up to a fault. So there's that. But there's so many just lapses in judgment and lapses in like believability about how everything happens. There's a part where towards the end where Nuclear Man kidnaps that woman, and takes her into space. And it's like, so what you're telling me is he saw her on a paper. And apparently he got horned up and was going to take it to have space sex with her because
nuclear sex.
She was flying into space.
She would have looked like Toxic Crusader after that.
But Merc, he had no base of operations. Where was he going?
The sun.
I guess so, right? He was going to fly her into the sun and then thrust upon her mangled corpse.
Her burnt
just like the ashes. I don't know, like the energy that was left. It made no sense.
He rubbed the ashes over his body. That's how he makes love.
I think that's what he was gonna do because second of all, you saw how far they were in the space. Why was she still alive? Like a lot of things made no sense.
This also was like a big propaganda movie of like getting rid of all. Well, world's peace. There you go. That goes to the title.
Get rid of the nukes.
So Superman goes into the United Nations, tell all of them, like, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of all your nukes. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. Fuck y'all. He took everyone's nuke. He put it in a big ass bag and tossed it to the sun.
No. It was a net, Merc. It wasn't a bag. It was a giant net.
It looked like a cosmic bag.
It makes less sense.
Yeah.
But also, I was sitting there during the United Nations scene, right?
Yeah.
When he walks in, because this all starts from a child.
Yeah.
The girl at the paper, they're kind of like when they want to tabloid it up.
Yeah.
So the girl says, "Okay, so this is gonna be a hit storyline. Why don't we have this kid, bring him in, have a photo shoot, prop him up as a hero, because he wants to have Superman." And then we're going to get Superman's answer. And then, that's basically, you're just seeing the wheels of propaganda working like, oh yeah, we need to do this because we want to make money. So let's just make this big deal out of this little boy, blah, blah, blah. So that happens and Superman can't answer the kid right away. So then another paper prints a storyline. Superman says no. It tells kids shove off or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Superman tells kids go fuck yourself.
No, that's ruthless. But then so Perry White gets pissed and goes down to like, I don't know, to the courts or something, I guess, to try to sue them or something. And so Superman ends up meeting the kid, and then he's like, I guess he finds the purpose thereafter, having met that kid.
Yeah.
Right? I probably should do this. I can't do this, but I should. So then he goes down to the United Nations, right? And this is the most unbelievable scene out of the entire movie because I was sitting there the entire time, and the one thing popped in my head. How are you going to take the nukes, but the people who are in this hall with this big place right now, the UN, you know half of them are the ones like shooting them at each other. Like, yo, what's so why are they standing up and clapping when they should be pissed off because you took their nukes and they just want to kill those guys? Like, nothing was real about it. It was just so.
It was just a bunch of just random shit that just put together. It's like, you know what? Let's make Superman be the ruler of the world. He's gonna tell everyone, like, take away your nukes, and he's gonna take over the world. And that's pretty much what he was gonna do.
Yeah, they wanted him to they wanted people to be like, oh yeah, and he's having this moral dilemma of I can't interfere. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
I can't interfere, and they had the corniest, cheesiest. I can't believe they sat there and made that guy repeat the same line like 4 times. You remember when he saw the heads when he went back to the Fortress of Solitude?
Yeah,
and the head was just repeating the same line. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. Don't enter. Oh my god!
And what he did.
He interfered. The first thing he did. But that aside, how cheesy the movie is, it's just the fact that it takes so many leaps and it never checks itself. So the movie is fine. They just go with, you're watching Superman, you don't believe anything is real. Yeah. So we're just gonna show you everything, and you know what? Don't even question it.
Yeah.
Just why did Nuclear Man turn from a hair, some kryptonite shavings, and some, I guess, some cloth? You know what I'm saying? Well, he explains the cloth part, but I'm saying, how did that turn into a man? Like, why didn't it come out a mutated blob? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Like it's not like it was in a mold, Merc.
No, it wasn't. It was just a bunch of shit. And again, like, how the fuck they got the hair? The hair is holding 1,000 pounds, and you could just cut it with a damn thing. I thought at least like get some heavy duty shit, but he just had a clipper and just cut the shit.
Merc, that scene pissed me off because I'm just sitting there like, I thought it was gonna be comical where he was gonna cut the weights,
the
little ring around the waist, and it shows him cut the hair. And I'm like, did they plan on that? Because the hair's holding the weight. How can you cut it? It's supposed to be strong as hell. And so it's just like, no, we just do what we want to do. Okay.
This movie is a lot of that. It was just like weird. It wasn't enjoyable, yeah. Like it, because I think it was just the cheesiness that I enjoyed more than anything. Because it was just a really cheesy movie, but like Superman himself too. Like he just had a lot of shit going on in this movie. Fucking taking the memory off of Lois Lane and shit like that. Flying with her like parallel. So basically, like, you're only using one hand to keep her straight. Like, there's no way in hell she's like flying like that. No way in hell. And it's just a lot of crazy shit that happened in this movie that was just like, I'm just like, all right, restore it. Next movie.
Yeah, it just takes too many leaps.
Yeah.
Like Superman wiping her memory constantly, more than once apparently. The scene where he's with the 2 women going up and down the elevator, and like they have to. It's like, why is he going through this?
Yeah.
It felt like the script for that movie came from like an original Superman comic book from like the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Like it felt like it was that type of wholesome, but none of this makes sense. It's just random malarkey, I would say, and you just gotta buy in.
Yeah,
like that's it. Like the only reason I even ended up liking Nuclear Man in this movie was not because he was actually cool. It was just because watching the movie and see how he was portrayed, how he's all serious and shit. He only really turns out to just be an asshole.
Yeah,
like he's not really like a world-ending threat. Because even when he lands for the Daily Planet, in front of the Daily Planet to have a big confrontation with Superman, after they already fought, mind you, he just is basically looking for this woman because he's horned up because he saw her in a picture.
Yeah.
It's just like he starts to pettily like destroy the things around him.
Yeah.
So he's just being a dick. Like his goal is not to destroy the world, it's just destroy Superman.
Yeah. And how you knew that concept of Superman already? Just because he used the hair?
There's an AI involved, but I don't think they ever specifically state that he was taught anything. So I don't know. Luther magic? Nothing.
know.
No explanation.
I don't
None.
know.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's best to watch the movie. Don't question any of it. It doesn't answer its own questions. So
It won't give you answers either.
nope.
It'll
I
leave
still
you.
don't understand a lot about this movie. I just don't.
I feel like I'm still like, why?
Yes.
I think that's the theme of this episode is why.
Yeah. Why? Why you make this movie?
Why? Just why?
Or why you make it like this? Why?
So, where you put it in your rank, you put it at number 11, so just misses the top 10 spot. And I put it in my 10th spot.
Okay.
So, for now, our movies, my movies is RoboCop, Superman 2, Flash Gordon, Toxic Avenger, Superman the Movie, Weird Science, Superman 3, Howard the Duck, Legends of the Lone Ranger, Superman 4.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yours is RoboCop, Toxic Avenger, Superman 2, Superman the Movie, Flash Gordon, Weird Science, Superman 3, Howard the Duck, Legends of the Lone Ranger, Supergirl.
Okay.
Our next movie is another DC character, and I'm actually really looking forward to seeing this. Batman.
Yes. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
I know for one thing, it's way better at explaining itself than this movie. But again, maybe not. I'll find out. Maybe not.
Yo, it's been a while, so yeah, I'm excited to watch that again as well. So right now we're at Batman. Next month, kicking off for April will be The Punisher, Toxic Avenger 2, Toxic Avenger 3, Captain America, and Darkman.
I'm looking forward to Darkman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That movie is nuts. It's really nuts.
Yeah.
That is a Sam Raimi movie through and through.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I haven't seen that. That's another movie I haven't seen in a long time, so that'd be something to watch. So Superman 2, Superman 4. Watch it at your risk.
Watch it if you want to be confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
You never feel the same way after you watch this movie. You feel every time, like this movie, pretty much. Like what was it? And Billy Madison, when fucking Adam Sandler answers the question, and he said, you made everyone stupider than what they were once before. For them having to listen to everything you had to say made us all much stupider. And that's how I feel about this movie.
all right, I can agree 100%.
It's just like it's a cloud. It's just a full cloud of shit in this movie that you can find entertaining. They have good enough actors to keep it entertaining, but if it wasn't for the decent okay actors they had on here, this movie would be terrible.
Yes, they just make Superman God. It's literally he's God. His eyes can fix things. It's crazy.
He's Jeebus.
He's Jeebus. There you go.
Yep. Anything else?
No, that's it.
So next week, Batman. Tim Burton's Batman.
See, now we're gonna have to do a thing where we go through the Batman 66 separately.
Yeah, that was actually something that we talked about too. I gotta get the DVD. I think I have the DVDs actually. I'd be interested in going into that. Like that's a weird series. I'd be interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. The one I know for a fact I've watched recently, and it's just a bullshit thing. Is the whole him and the Green Hornet.
I have not seen that.
And
okay.
Bruce Lee was
okay though.
And he's getting his ass kicked by Robin, and that just annoyed the shit out of me.
Damn. That sucks.
A little boy in stockings beat Bruce
But that
Lee.
little boy can fight.
But he fought Bruce Lee. We know he Bruce Lee. I know he's acting, but we knew he was Bruce Lee. That's not cool. That's not cool. Yeah. But yeah. So next week, Tim Burton's Batman will be our next movie. I'm actually, again, really looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Okay. Let's
Unless you
wrap
have
this
anything
up.
else. You have anything else?
No, that's about it.
Check out Retromania. It's a cool game. I enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll talk about it more on the Wrestling Babble next week.
Okay, gotcha.
Because
Cool.
then I'll get the full feel of the whole game and actually give you a proper review. So I'll talk about Retromania at next Wrestling Babble podcast.
Nice. Make sure you check that out.
Yep. So
yeah, I can wrap it up.
yep.
Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram.
Yep.
That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud, and that is Spotify. Where you can catch this and the Wrestling Babble podcast, as well as our other podcasts.
Yep.
Make sure you check out the WordPress as well
Yep.
if you're into video game screenshots.
Yeah.
And I'll also put up the video versions of each podcast there as well.
Yep.
So
Not Nuclear Man. Nuclear Man is not there.
no.
Anyway, yeah. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch TV, and SoundCloud, or Mark the Mic. And follow our Facebook pages, RedCycloneInc and the Wrestling Babble pages.
Do it.
And always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's got sandwiches, damn it. He's not supposed to have them.
And he took them from Great Khali, so.
Well, Great Khali was like, he asked for half the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then he did that thing where he put his hand on the middle of it.
Yeah.
Instead of put hand on the side. So he's like, I'm not touching that now. I'm not. You might as well take the whole thing. He's like, thank you.
He's gonna get chopped.
You know how big Great Khali's hand is?
You
If he
gonna get
touches
chopped.
his sandwich, do you want to touch it after it? No, he put his whole hand on the entire thing. Just take it, Khali.
Yeah,
Just take it.
you sweaty ass palm. Just take it.